radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening, Fade to Black. Bespoke Radio for the masses. Yeah, man. How you doing? How you doing? Today's Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Let's do this, man. 61 days into the new year, only 304 days left. Yep, man, so much has happened. We're on March 2nd. What a crazy year. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere, a total undisclosed location, but it is beautiful in here. It is. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer, and UNX Networks. Ray Hobbs, I am your host, the Ghost, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? I cannot wait for tonight's show, because tonight we welcome two very special guests, Tony and Cherie Rathman. Join us for a full night of ghost hunting. We've got a lot of stuff. I've got some fresh EVPs from Tony and Cherie. We'll be listening to those. Got a bunch, too. So that'll be a little bit later. And then tomorrow night is another Fader night with open lines all night long. And that is tomorrow. Okay. All right. Where am I at? I am going to be in Sedona in a couple of weeks, March 18th, 19th, and 20th. There's a conference going on out there. I will let everybody know. If you live in Sedona, it'd be great to see you. I'm going to do a drive-by at the conference Saturday night, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. And I don't have any agenda. I'm just going to be there to hang out. Not hosting. I'm not working, but I'm going to be at this conference. So I will let everybody know. I've got business on Friday in Sedona. That Friday night is tied up. But Saturday, I'll be at the conference. Sunday, I've got to travel back to LA. So. But I'll be hanging out there Saturday night. I think that would be March 19th. And tomorrow night I will for Fader night. I'll let everybody know. Also, coming up is Disclosure Fest, and if you go to, like I am right now, disclosurefest.org. And you head over there. It is June 18th, Saturday, June 18th. I'll be hosting, and at the Los Angeles State Historic Park in downtown Los Angeles. This is a huge, humongous event. If you've ever been there, you know exactly what I am talking about. And you can head over to disclosurefest.org for tickets and info, and maybe you're a vendor, whatever. Go and check this out. Everything goes to the foundations, feeding the homeless, cleaning the beaches, planting trees, all that kind of stuff. And but it's a great event, and it's a big event. Okay, now coming off of a pandemic, in years past, 20,000 people were at this event, and it's just tremendous to see that many people running around with meditation on the mind. It's really cool. It's a lot of fun. So. And it's outdoors. So it's a big event. And I would love to see everybody there. So go to disclosurefest.org and you will see the schedule, the calendar, the mass meditation, all of the initiatives, how you can get involved, all of that. And it's right there at disclosurefest.org. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. That's right. At J Church Radio. The Sandbox is hashtag F2B on Twitter. Any questions tonight or any other night on the show, hashtag F2B, F2BQ. Hello to everybody listening and watching all around the world. Okay. All right. Let's get to some breaking news. Happy Born on Earth Day. Is today Earth Day? What? No, it's not. Is today Earth Day? I didn't miss that. Is that disclosure? Man, I don't know. That's David tweeting out stuff to confuse me right in the middle of the show. All right. Where am I at? Breaking news. Roscosmos. The Russian space agency, Roscosmos, will not launch 36 OneWeb internet satellites as planned for this Friday, March 4th, unless the company meets new demands, and that company being OneWeb. This morning, Roscosmos rolled a Soyuz rocket out to the launch pad at the Russia-operated Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan, carrying 36 satellites for the London-based company OneWeb. Shortly after the rollout, though, Roscosmos Director General Dmitry Rogozin said that they will not launch the satellite as planned if the company does not guarantee that the craft will not be used for military purposes and that the UK government remove its investment in the company as another condition for launch. So they are holding the OneWeb satellites hostage. That's right. Well, Tesla's public charging stations in Russia. Okay, so let me repeat this so you understand what I'm saying. Tesla's public charging stations in Russia have been hacked. And they have been hacked to display messages supporting Ukraine and denouncing Russian President Vladimir Putin. The screens at the charging stations have messages. I've seen them. I've seen the videos. It's a little, green LCD screen, he's, like on a gas pump. It's at a charging station. It's about yay big. And it says, Slava Ukraini, right? Which translates to glory to Ukraine. The attacks forced Tesla screens across Russia also to display messages in opposition to Putin. There you go. I don't know how many Teslas are in Russia, but I doubt they're for sale there anymore anyway. Jack Sweeney, the Florida teen, that's a new, it's always Florida man. Now it's the Florida teen who tracks Elon Musk's private jet online on Twitter has a new target. Russian oligarchs and billionaires. Jack, who rejected Musk's $5,000 offer to delete his Twitter account, and I talked about that last month, recently launched 2 new automated Twitter handles. One is RU Oligarch Jets, and the other one is @PutinJet, following Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The two profiles already have nearly 300,000 followers and provide live updates of the private jet's movements along with pictures and maps and locations. Right now, the accounts track more than 40 planes and helicopters linked to Russian oligarchs. Yeah, there you go. The Felicity Ace, the cargo ship carrying cars and SUVs from brands including Audi, Porsche, Bentley, and Lamborghini, has now sunk. I talked about this last week when it was first announced. It had caught fire February 16th, and its crew had abandoned the ship. The Felicity Ace had been carrying nearly 4,000 vehicles from various Volkswagen Group brands valued at about $335 million. It has sunk. They say no environmental damage. There's nothing left on the ship. Everything burned up. And there you go. It was, at the time that it sunk, it was being towed. All right. A crescent-shaped crater in northeast China now holds the record as the largest impact crater on Earth that formed in the last 100,000 years. It's called the Yilan crater, and it measures about 1.15 miles across and likely formed about 46,000 years ago based on radiocarbon dating of charcoal and organic lake sediments from the site. The meteor crater in Arizona previously held the record for the largest impact crater less than 100,000 years old, and it's about 49,000 years old and measures 3/4 of a mile in diameter. But they're both about the same age. Isn't that strange? What was going on 50,000 years ago on planet Earth, right? Impact craters like that just raining down from the sky. So anyway, here we go. Let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today, 007 Daniel Craig, 53 years old. He plays a pretty good 007. I got to give him that. And the new one, I can't even remember the name of it. It was pretty good. John Bon Jovi today is 59. Remember how good looking John Bon Jovi was? 1984, 85. Remember that? He looks 110 today. Jazz guitarist Larry Carlton today is 74. Drummer Hunt Sales is 68. Him and his brother, man. His brother's a bass player. Amazing. Amazing. Todd Rundgren, Iggy Pop, David Bowie, Tin Machine. Hunt Sales today is 68. And Coldplay's Chris Martin is 45. Our dead guy's birthday today is Karen Carpenter. 1950 to 1983, died at the age of 32. Karen was a singer. She was a drummer who, along with her brother Richard, was one half of the Carpenters. She had a 3-octave vocal range and is considered as one of the greatest singers ever. On February 4th, 1983, Karen was scheduled to sign final papers making her divorce official. Shortly after waking up on that day, she collapsed in her bedroom at her parents' house in Downey, California. Paramedics found her heart beating once every 10 seconds. She was pronounced dead at Downey Community Hospital at 9:51 a.m., and that was a sad day. Happy birthday, Karen. On this day in history, OTD, 1972, the Pioneer 10, the world's first outer planetary probe, is launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida, on a mission to Jupiter. On this day in 1972. Fader fact, at the age of 17, Steven Spielberg wrote and directed his first independent film called Firelight with his dad's movie camera. That would later inspire Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And that is your Fader fact. I only brought that up because we talked about it like all week on the show. Close Encounters. Almost watched it last night. Man, I got all wrapped up in this new TV series called Guardians of Justice. Have you guys peeped this out yet? Guardians of Justice. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right. I'm just going to leave that right there. You got to watch it to believe what's going on. It's pretty cool, though. All right. So tonight, though, definitely Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I just feel it. I feel it. I feel like going back. And the other day, I was going to watch Close Encounters. Today's Wednesday. I think it was Monday night. And what was going on Monday? Oh, Jordan Ziff was here. So that kind of tied things up. And then I decided to go old school. I can't remember what it was now. I started to watch something. And, you're not going to believe. Yes, I was going to watch Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I ended up watching Starship Troopers. And for some reason, they lined up next to each other. Or I had selected Close Encounters, right? And then I see below it, and customers also watched, right? Below it. So I scroll and there was Starship Troopers. It was the first choice. I was like, oh, man, I'm going Starship Troopers. Oh, man. I forgot Carmen Ibanez. I forgot how good that movie was. Okay. All right. Where am I at? Tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman join us. It's a full night of ghost hunting. And it's going to be a great show because I've got a bunch of new EVPs that Tony and Cherie sent me. So we're going to be listening to those and discussing them and talking about ghost hunting and what ghosts are. We're going to be doing all of that tonight. Tomorrow night's another Fader night with open lines all night long. Now, let me hit this River Moon coffee. RiverMoonWellness.com. All right. Fade to black blend. So, I'm sure that most of you have noticed by now, I have been rotating microphones, like every 3 days. Not every day, like every 3 days. And this is like day number 2 with this one, maybe 3. This is the Shure. And I've been rotating them through and then going back and listening to see which one, I like the best. And I'm going to continue to do that. But if you guys have noticed anything, or if you feel that one sounds, to you, to the audience, because that's what matters, let me know. And I'm going to, I've got 2 more mics that I'm going to continue to test for a total of 6. I might do a shootout. I might do a shootout and make a video of that. You don't get an opportunity to do this in a real honest work environment. This isn't, somebody just, throwing up microphones and talking into it and going, this one sounds pretty good. This one sounds pretty good. No, I actually use these for a job. And I think it's very important. And there you go. Because sometimes I'll use a mic for a year or 2, and you just kind of get used to it. And then I go out there in the world, and I use other microphones, and they say, man, I'm like, man, maybe I should change. I don't know. So I just got a fire under my butt a couple of weeks ago, and decided to rotate this through. So that's what's going on. And and if there's a night where it just is wrong, let me know. Okay. All right. Where am I at? Ghosts. All right. Sure. Ghosts. We've known about them for thousands of years. Reports and stories about them have been around and is, told for as long as there have been campfires. Let's just be honest, right? Okay, so today, I think that we can all agree, well, at least most of us. You can't get everybody on the same page, but I think that most of us can pretty much say that there's something going on. But just like anything else, there are so many layers and possibilities. It can't be just one thing. It just can't be one thing to the phenomenon, that answers everything. Can't be. It's just, there's too much. The one thing that we didn't have 1,000 or 100 years ago was science and technology, the kind that we have today. We had science and technology back then, but that was campfires and bloodletting, right? That was our science and technology. But today we have the goods. We've got all sorts of cameras, anything that you can think of, video, still, whatever. And looking at different frequencies and heat signatures. We've got that. We've got audio recording, any kind of audio recording, and microphones and things. We've got meters and testing equipment. And, of course, we even have computers and software. And all of this stuff can be used to detect, to find, and to measure what may be going on. And then, of course, we have modern physics. Now, the ability to combine all of this gear and knowledge hasn't brought the definitive proof. No, it has not. We're closer than ever before, that's for sure. But one thing it hasn't done is shown us that there isn't anything going on, right? That it's just our minds playing tricks on us. No, it hasn't shown us that either. Listen. Everybody knows by now, I should say, that I've moved into a new home. And yes, things have been going on here since I first, got the keys to this place. Most of the activity is slowed down. Okay? The stuff that I've talked about. And it's also something that I'm kind of bummed about. Because it sure was fun when, things were flying around the rooms here. But there are two things, that still go on that I have never talked about. Right. Until now. And I'm going to discuss this tonight with Tony and Cherie. And maybe I can get some answers. And if I get answers, that means you get answers, right? Because we're all in this journey together. The other part to this, especially for some of you old timers with Fade to Black, I know that you've heard me say many times over the years, going back to the beginning of the show, I'm not going to ghost hunt in my own house. And I just don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't think I need to ghost hunt now, but I don't want to ghost hunt. I don't want to know what may be happening. And that advice also came from many ghost hunters on this show and people that study the paranormal and the supernatural. But no, you don't necessarily, you want to leave that to a professional. You don't necessarily want to do that by yourself. You don't know what you could be activating or inviting or disturbing. You just don't know what you're messing with. So it's best to leave that to professionals. But for me, the shoes have stopped moving. And that lasted for like 2 or 3 months, right? And then I had a little lull, and then it went over to the boots, and that was kind of weird. Now it's been a couple of months since I've had any movement up there. The other stuff that went on here in the bunker also has stopped. But not everything has stopped. So what is going on, if anything? And here's the thing. All right, now here's the thing. I live alone. And therefore, and I don't have any pets. So therefore, if I'm home and I see something or I hear something, and from some, and I know it's not me, then what is it? Because I know that it's not my kids upstairs in their bedroom. Right? I know it's not my dog chewing up a pillow. I know these things. And that's the part where, again, do I want to ghost hunt in my own home? When I know as a physical fact that there is strange things happening, right? I know this. Is that where you let it go? Right there. You just let it go and accept it. That has been my choice. So tonight, with Tony and Cherie being here, what a great opportunity to discuss these things. And you can think about what may or may not be going on in your own home and how to deal with it, right? And that's why we do the show. We can all learn together. All right. I'm very excited. Tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman are here. I've got a bunch of EVPs. I haven't counted, but I've got a bunch. So stay tuned for that. It's one of my favorite things to do is listen to EVPs. We've got a bunch of that tonight, so we're going to be doing that and discussing each one of those. And, of course, what is ghost hunting? And the two of the very best ghost hunters are here with us tonight. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night, right here, it's Fader Night with open lines all night long. All right. On the Game Changer and UnX Networks, Race Hobbs, I am your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. I'll be right back with the Rathmans after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on JimmyChurchRadio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net.
Introducing the Game Changer blend from Rivermoon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all Rivermoon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years, and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
The new KUNXDB, the UNX Network, bringing you the best in paranormal programming in premium, high-definition streaming audio and video. Log on to the network at unxnetwork.com and check out the growing lineup of programs, including Jimmy Church, Whitley Strieber, Micah Hanks, and many more. Sign up for the free UNX newsletter, follow the UNX blog, or pick up the latest edition of the UNX magazine. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. So check us out at unxnetwork.com. Tap the show page and the calendar so you never miss your favorite live shows and podcasts. We are your portal for all things paranormal. The X, explaining the unexplained.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman are with us. Full night of ghost hunting. Ghosts. That is tonight, and we've got a brand new collection of EVPs. And we're also going to talk about their latest investigations. When I spoke to Tony last week, they just came off of, like the night before, another investigation. So we'll talk about that tonight. Tony is the founder, lead investigator of Entity Voices Paranormal Investigation. And 12 years of doing this. He was a skeptic until his better half opened up his eyes. Cherie Rathman, co-founder and investigator over at Entity Voices. And she grew up in the Philippines and was surrounded by paranormal activity as a child. We're going to talk about all of that tonight. She grew up in a haunted house and drew Tony in. And that's all we need to know. EntityVoices.com is the website. And I would like to welcome back UNX Network's newest paranormal team and show. Welcome, guys. How are you?
We're doing great, Jimmy.
Hi, Jimmy.
How are you, Cherie? What's cracking?
It's always cracking.
It's always cracking. It's always cracking. And last week, okay, first, I wanted to jump into what you guys did. Now, I'm not sure when I talked to Tony, but it must have been over the weekend. And then, so we'll get to that in a second. But welcome to the UNX Network, and very proud to have the very best over with us now.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. The UNX Network is fantastic. We absolutely love it. We are honored to be here as well. Couldn't ask for more. That's
Thanks
for sure.
Thanks for having us again.
Yeah, Jimmy, we appreciate it.
UNX.
Well, see, here's, and I know that we've talked about this a couple of times over the years, but one of the coolest nights of my life was spent with you guys on the Queen Mary. And for a lot of reasons, it was the company, it was the people, and the investigation of my first ghost hunt. But the three of us, I got my first dose of a paranormal investigation with that voice that happened in that suite below decks, and I remember. When that happened, the funny thing was Tony and I connecting eyes, like, what? Right. Okay, so there was that part. But it was after we wrapped that night and I was walking to my car, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, man, I just heard my first voice, wow. I did that by myself. and then I turn around and it's you two, and we got a chance to say goodbye and talk about that because it was just a tremendous thing. Now, and that was my excitement. Does a voice like that, not an EVP or something you've got to go and find, but something that is, audible, does that happen often to you guys? I mean, is it just like no big deal now?
No, it's always a big deal because that's what you always go looking for. And yeah, it's one thing to pick up an EVP, but it is completely different when it's audible to the human ear. And you and I heard it at the same time because, like you said, we both looked at each other and eyes like pancakes going, what was that? And who was that, I guess, is the better question. And if I remember correctly, it was more of a
It was a yeah. It was
a sound more than a word.
Yeah, it didn't say like "get out."
Right.
It was the funny thing, I'm so glad that you're here. Because I tell the story all the time, and it just sounds like a bunch of BS. It just does. But it was our reactions when it happened. You looked over your shoulder, and I looked over mine. But you kind of looked behind you, and I did too. I thought it was the camera guy or whoever was standing here. And so I look over but you looked over your shoulder in the opposite direction. And
that's one of the things that identifies it to me as being paranormal, because when a sound occurs naturally or somebody spoke that sound, your ears, because there's one on each side of your head, can identify the direction that it's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
When it's a paranormal sound, you can't. We've heard voice after voice after voice that you can't identify what direction it's coming from because it kind of fills the entire room all at once, and a sound direction because there's difference in the way that it's sent out into the environment. I would love to be able to say I can tell you it's a different type of sound wave. I don't know that.
Right.
But the fact that it isn't identifiable as to the direction that it's coming from tells me it was paranormal, because you looked one way, I looked the complete opposite over my shoulder thinking it came from behind me. So that was a good indication to me that, what we just heard wasn't natural.
Yeah, and plus also it's so quiet. Everybody is quiet. Nobody's talking.
Right.
So that was surprised me, like, who is that?
Right. And Cherie, you bring up the one point that needs to be emphasized with that moment for us. We were on that ship alone. There was nobody on that giant boat, and walking around without having, because it's a tourist place, it's a hotel. So normally there are hundreds and hundreds of people on that ship. We had it to ourselves. And when we were walking around those hallways, you never heard silence like that, right? It was dead quiet. And so we're in that suite, and when nobody is talking, you can hear your heartbeat. I mean, it is just so quiet. It was just so quiet, and that voice was loud. And here's the other thing. Okay, back to your point. This didn't have a source which you can pinpoint, a throat, a mouth, right? So now you can triangulate. That's what your ears do. You can detect the direction. Because there wasn't a source for this, it was like everywhere, right? I don't know. Is that the right way to say it? But
that's the perfect way to say it. And that's exactly when a paranormal sound is audible to the human ear. That's the perfect description. It literally is everywhere. And that's where it came from, because we couldn't identify direction. Yeah. It was nobody talking. And you're right, being on that ship when it was completely empty was just an incredible experience. Plus, they had every room door open. So when you walk down that hall, knowing that there was no one on the ship except for who was there to film, it still felt like eyes were watching you from every door you passed by.
Did you feel, Cherie? I felt that. Did you feel that walking around there with all the open suites and that you were being watched?
Yes, it's actually scary when I was walking, because you guys are when we were walking, you guys are ahead of me, I'm behind it, and I don't want to look to my left or to my right because it's so dark. Even though the doors are open, it gives me a goosebump. I'm like, I don't want to look. What if I see something? I'm gonna be screaming. It's scary.
Yes, it is. And I felt, and I think that we all get this kind of this kind of sensation that you feel that you're being watched, but you don't want to look because you don't want to actually see somebody looking at you. Right?
Exactly.
Right. So it's eyes ahead. Don't look to the left or right.
It's crazy.
It is.
Tony keep on. You know what Tony says to me? How come you've been doing this? You're a paranormal investigator and you're still scared. I'm like, heck yeah, I'm only human.
Well, it's also,
I understand that.
But isn't that half the fun, though? Isn't that half the fun? Is being a little bit scared?
It depends. It depends on how scary. I mean, we've stepped foot into places that Cherie swears she'll never go back. I will, but the fear when great activity occurs, there's a cross between an excitement level and depending what that activity is can also be a little unsettling.
Yeah.
So yeah, that rush of emotion from the excitement and the fear is fun to experience.
Yeah, it's fun to experience, but you don't know who you will run into. That's
true.
what, the scary part for me. And I'm not scared if Tony's next to me or if there's other people, but if I'm by myself, I can't.
Oh, is that? Oh, wait a minute. So Tony doesn't send you up to the attic with a meter by yourself.
She used to do that. But when we ran into the shadow figure in the old Phelps Dodge Hospital, she, from that point on, she said, I will not go off unless you're behind me.
Because I saw it with my own eyes. I screamed and seriously, my legs are trembling and I'm really cold. I said, I'm done. We're done. I'm not doing paranormal anymore.
Well, we caught it on video first. So we knew it was there. And then, a week later or a couple days later, we were doing another investigation, and it literally walked right across the hall, maybe 20 feet from Cherie. She could see it plain as day, and she screamed so loud.
Yeah.
Now, who else is on the team over at EVPI?
Ron Iacovetti and Lourdes Gonzalez. And the other two are Chris Allgood and his wife, Audra Keeler.
Who's got the tats?
Chris Allgood.
Yeah, Chris. He's the guy that you send in first. That's what that's the forget about Tony, Cherie. That's the dude you go to the attic with. And do you use the complete team when you go out on an investigation like you did this weekend? And does everybody have a specialty that they bring to the table?
Yeah, each one of us has a specialty. Cherie and I are EVP ITC Specialists. Chris and Audra are actually both sensitive. Chris has been able to pick up on what's going on, different feelings, different energies within a room since he was a small child and has had interaction with spirits since he was a small child. Plus, he's got a police background. So when you cross what he feels and thinks is happening with his unbelievable ability to pick things out, notice changes in an environment, that's his forte for sure. And then Ron and Lourdes are DRV or direct radio voice specialists. It's similar to a ghost box, but it doesn't scan radio frequencies. It sits on either a medium wave or low wave frequency with no radio transmission. So you're literally hearing white noise, and then they hook up different AI functions to pull voices out of the white noise static, and what comes out is absolutely incredible. In fact, I had him show me how to do it because it's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I've never heard of this. So is it real-time communication?
Yes.
Really? Okay, so you're listening to white noise,
right?
And then the application of artificial intelligence software?
Yep.
And then you are able to pull communication out, words, I'm guessing.
Complete sentences. In fact, we did a live version of it. Ron used his direct radio voice software, and I used the EVOX. And he literally said live on the air, say Cherie Rathman. And it wasn't 2 seconds later, this male voice says, Cherie Rathman, clear as a bell.
Yeah, I think he asked a question and he mentioned my name as in really like, the spirit is just next to him.
Yeah, it was
very
incredible.
Clear.
And he can get full sentences too. A lot of time with spirit boxes, you'll get a word or two. Sometimes you get more, but it's less of a chance.
Yeah.
He'll get complete sentences that'll just go on, and then you can ask another question and the voice comes right back. Yeah. But yet again, you're listening to a long wave or short wave frequency that has no transmission whatsoever on it.
Now you have, and I know this because I've seen it personally. You've literally got a truckload of gear.
Yep. We do.
Literally a truckload, maybe even 2 truckloads. And you're lucky that you have Cherie for a wife because she just, she lets that happen. Honey, I got another ghost box, right? So anyway, out of all of that gear, and I would like to discuss some of that specifically, but what is necessary on a ghost hunt? Not all of it. I mean, but what are the necessary ingredients when you go out on an investigation?
The absolute necessities are a video camera, which can also take photos, but some people just use their phone. But a way to capture still images and a way to capture video, absolute must.
Digital
one absolutely is a digital recorder, so that you can catch EVPs and voices that you don't hear. And the third one, probably an EMF meter, just to be able to get a second source of information if something's going on. Is there any electromagnetic frequency disturbances happening? Those 3 items would be enough to do an investigation that you would be able to capture good stuff.
Now, what about branching out a little bit more into the exotic, some kind of FLIR, infrared, radar, heat-seeking missile, which we see so much of this today, lasers and so what about the exotic?
Well, yeah, you've got the FLIR. We use just a huge variety of audio equipment, including parabolic mics, which we have found work absolutely fantastic. Things that a normal digital recorder won't pick up. If you go back and listen to a recording done with a high-powered parabolic mic, you're just amazed. I mean, we've gotten 20-minute conversations between people that aren't there, nowhere in the building, nowhere around us. And then some people might say, well, maybe you're picking something up from outside. No, we did it how many times in the Phelps Dodge? There aren't even any neighbors. I mean, we are middle of nowhere. But yet these voices come through. And so that's another one. FLIR, definitely.
Yeah, I think the most one of the exotic equipment, you really want to catch something, you want to put all the DVR, night vision, in all corners.
Oh, yeah, a DRV
and stay overnight. So you'll probably catch something.
Yeah, those are a plus. I mean, there's so much, and every day new stuff comes out. Now, the real question is, some of the new stuff that is being released, Are there huge advantages to it? Yeah, I mean, motion light strips that you can put the sensors completely around a door and have the light big enough and facing you or close to you that if something activates through the door, if motion occurs, this whole strip lights up. Those are cool. They've got what are called bionic mics that are similar to a parabolic but cheaper but work well. But then you've got other things that have been around a while, like the Ovilus and the Paranormal Puck. Do they really pick up paranormal stuff? Well, I guess I haven't used them enough to probably give a determining factor, but just knowing how they're built, the fact that it's got 2,000 words in it compared to 158,000, which is in the English language. So if they only chose 2,000, chances are any of those 2,000 words would probably relate in one way or another to a haunted location. Yeah. And to me, that doesn't really show any signs of paranormal activity.
Now, do both of you know how to operate all of the stuff that you guys carry with you?
No.
Which one don't you? Which one don't you know how to use?
Cherie's like, nope.
She says that so she doesn't have to.
I thought it was the opposite. She acts like
I will buy him the equipment. He'll use it.
Because, you're sitting amongst all of the stuff, and you told me what everything did, Cherie, so I assumed that if a team member twists an ankle during an investigation, somebody can pick up the slack.
She can.
Okay.
I can, but like Tony says, because I don't want to hook up all this. It's hard. It's hard to, how would you say that? Like, set up.
The worst thing she hates is when I set DVR recorders up with like 6-8 cameras, because she wants nothing to do with it. She doesn't want to string cables. She doesn't want to make sure that the cameras are focused and they're clear. And so I usually do all that. But she does a million other things that always help. So
if
works.
It's necessary, I will help him.
Yeah, she always does.
Now, we're going to take a break here in a couple of minutes, in about 2 minutes. But I just moved into a new home, and I have asked, even you, the both of you, but I've asked every paranormal, supernatural, ghost hunting expert that's been a guest on this show the same question over and over again. Is it okay to ghost hunt in your own home? And the overwhelming answer is absolutely not. Leave it to the professionals, right? Okay. And that makes a lot of sense to me, and I think that most of the audience totally gets that. For me, I just don't want to know, right? I just don't want to know. But I've moved into this new home, and I've got stuff going on from the moment that I got the keys to the place, and it has never really been still. Right? And because I live here alone, I know that, and I don't have pets, so you can automatically cross off a lot of things. Like, if it's not me, well then, and it's not, it's not supposed to be anybody else here, right? So what is going on? And then you're left with the perplexing question. Do I ghost hunt? Do I go and try to figure out? Do I walk around and start asking questions? Who is here? Do I do these things? Or do I just let it go? And I'm kind of stuck because I know physically, with 100% certainty, that stuff is flying around this house. Like literally. So what do I do? What am I left with?
Well, you, unlike 99% of everybody else, is when something happens that they can't explain or don't understand, the first thing they're going to do is deny it until it happens again and again and again, until they can't deny it anymore. And then it becomes a reality that, hey, this is occurring. So you have two choices. You can either just ignore it, but there's a difference between what you ask first if you paranormal investigate in your own house. Well, it's different if you you have activity.
Right.
It's already there.
Right.
You're not going to call something else in. You know you have something there. To me, that's a wide open door to say, yeah, let's figure out what this is.
So, nothing negative, right? It's not like I've got, cuts and bruises, or my bed is shaking and I'm vomiting, green stuff, and my head is spinning on a swivel. It hasn't come to that. So it's not like it's a negative environment. So is that a good thing? Right? It's not a bad thing yet.
No. Depending on what exactly is going on and just knowing some of the things that you said, it's letting you know it's there. But it's doing it discreetly and in a manner that won't freak you out, because some people do. They absolutely panic, and then that's not a good environment for whoever lives in the house or for the spirit who is also there. So what my guess is that it's slowly showing you that it's there without just popping up in front of the edge of your bed at night,
right?
Which would absolutely freak you out.
Right.
It's giving you subtle hints over time to allow you to adjust to the fact that you are now coming to the realization that, yes, there is something here. And when you accept that, the activity will probably grow.
Well, I have a quick question for Jimmy before we take a break. Did you research your house before you buy, or is there any history?
No, relatively new, in a new side of town. So, and this isn't an old town; it's Palmdale. So it's new. It's not hundreds of years old; it's 50 years old. So I didn't think that there was a reason to do that. Although that has been pointed out to me since then, church, why didn't you? Right? I was like, well, and here's the other thing. I've got 15 seconds. I have, with my alarm system here, I've got motion detectors throughout the house on the first floor. Don't have them on the second floor for whatever reason. But I have 5 in different locations downstairs. I have the option to have those on while I'm in bed, right? Because it's downstairs. And I won't turn them on. I won't turn them on. I do not want to be, 12 midnight in the dark watching some crazy, scary movie and then have a motion detector go on downstairs, because I'm not going downstairs. I'm not going down. I'm not going to go check it out. It's not going to happen. So that's, and I know that you're probably thinking, church, turn them on. Right? Turn them on. So let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. Our guest tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman, Entity Voices Paranormal Investigation. We're going to talk about ghost hunting here at the house. And then, of course, we have a bunch of EVPs. And I want to talk about their latest investigation that went down last weekend. All of that and much more coming up. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this short break.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB, VX.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to forbiddenknowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30daysfree on forbiddenknowledge.tv today.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer, Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, I'm Katie and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And this is Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers. We are also Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier.
And I'm Ari Gold.
We're the Honey Brothers.
And you're listening to Jimmy Church.
The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernaut by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman are with us. Entity Voices Paranormal Investigation, EVPI. And right before the break, I was telling Tony and Cherie about this new home that I've moved into, and strange stuff is going on, and that is weird. The music just... See, that's what I'm talking about. That just stopped on its own. What? Do you know how many times that's happened? live after 2,000 shows? None.
I'm going to guess 0.
Zero. What the? Oh, man. Okay, so I'm living in this haunted house. 2 ghosts walk into a bar. Okay, so I have been fairly public about some of the things that have been going on here. Not all of it, but I'm going to discuss the other stuff that I haven't revealed at all with you guys tonight. I need your advice, and hopefully the audience will glean something from this too as well, and we can figure out a way to move on. Now, I've had stuff moving in the house. Okay, I'm not going to revisit all of that. The audience is going to go, not again. Okay, so I'm not going to do that. But 2 things have been happening and are still happening, and like yesterday. Okay, this is all recent stuff. One thing that started from the day that I moved in is I've been seeing, like, I don't want to say a shadow figure, but I've been seeing stuff out of my peripheral vision, and to the point where I've looked, right, and I've tried to catch it. And I haven't seen anything, only this, but very consistent and like all the time. And I've never had this before in my life, so maybe I've got something going on inside of my eyes. Maybe I've got some kind of chemical imbalance now at my old age. It could be that, but I am definitely, and so this has been going on like every day. And to the point now where I'm almost ignoring it, but I'm constantly looking. Okay. All right. So, and this has happened both upstairs and downstairs. So I will be lying in bed reading, right? Lights are on, right? I'm in bed reading, and then, just and there's nothing. It's just like crazy. Never had this happen before. So there's that. The other thing that is happening, specifically in one location in the house, in the back of the house, in the family room, above the family room is my master bath, right above. And where the couch is in the family room, directly above my head, which would be, like not quite the center, but, in the master bath, footsteps. Wow. Right there. Now, I don't hear this anywhere else in the house, right? And it'll be, and I'm sitting down and just doing whatever and turn on the TV. I'll be sitting there for, whatever. And then all of a sudden, right above my head. Oh. And we all know, what footsteps sound like. Oh, and yeah. Now I have not jumped up and run upstairs. I'm not interested in seeing what's going on. I don't want to know, but it's been happening. So is this all tied together? And what are the steps with dealing with this? Let's talk about the thing that I'm seeing off in my peripheral vision, and it's left and right. It's both sides.
All right. Well, I remember you saying that nothing was vicious or you weren't being scratched or bruised. What I think is happening is that it is very slowly but surely letting you know something is there without instant in your face, here I am, which would freak you out. So what you're seeing out of the corner of your eyes, now granted that this is paranormal, but it's breaking you in. It's breaking you into the fact to accept that something is there. Those flashes that make you turn your head and look. If you turned and it was literally standing there staring at you, that would be overwhelming. So it is very slowly getting you to adjust and accept that there's more going on in the house than what you were aware of. And I think, like I said before, once you accept it and can handle it and deal with it, it will, the amount of action will raise. Now, the fact that when you were talking about it's being on the Queen Mary, and that was one of the very first experiences you had, anybody who has their first one always has additional. Once they feel like you believe that they're there, that they can trust you, more and more keep coming because they want to communicate. That may be the reason, because you were on the Queen Mary, because your mind opened up to that experience. Or it could just be in your house. And you were saying, well, my house isn't old. Well, it could be the land. It doesn't have to be the home.
Right. It is the Mojave Desert.
Right.
Now, Cherie, in your experience, you've had lots of experiences going back to your childhood. Tony said flashes of light. I want to be clear here. It's never been that. It's always been dark. It's like a dark something, black or dark gray. I haven't seen it dead on, so I can't say with certainty the color. But it's never, it's not a flash. It's not bright. It's always, this dark thing. And I don't want to say that it's a shadow figure because I haven't seen it. I only, you know what I mean? And I'll see the presence of it, whatever it is. But what do you think is going on?
Well, for me, I think when I was young, it's totally different now when we started doing paranormal investigation. It's kind of like I opened up myself, and I think I opened the door, embrace that there is something, spirit exists. That's when it started. I am like you. I can see also, it's not a shadow, but it's like movement, silhouette movement on the corner of my eye. So even I'm in the shower, I will see like shadow figure, with
really,
but not you.
We may need to discuss that later.
But it's something I'm not sure, but I think you kind of like you open a portal to yourself because you were at the Queen Mary, and that's when you started using the spirit, the EVOX.
Right.
Yes,
and
that's
that's
right.
how.
It opens the door. She's absolutely correct. And once that door begins to open, they will push at it to open it further because.
And you never close that.
No, it doesn't close.
Okay, so what do I do though? Is there a way to detect or find or see?
Yeah, there is. The real question, what it comes down to, because I've heard you say multiple times now, I hear footsteps. Yeah. I don't go up there. I don't want to know. Yeah. I don't want to see it. So what it really comes down to is your own personal perception, your own confidence level in maybe confronting what's there. And, there were some other things you said. And you said that you hear footsteps upstairs. And this is what time of night?
10 o'clock, 11 o'clock after the show.
And they're in the bathroom.
Yes.
So the first thing that tells me, also because you said that it's not aggressive and that it appears to be slowly breaking you in, I'm going to guess, and I'm only guessing based off of what you're telling me, but I'm going to guess this is a female spirit. And my reason for saying that is because, A, it's not aggressive. You were telling me that foam core was being moved around. Foam core is very light. Not that it's a difference of a man versus a woman, but a human spirit doesn't have the power to move heavier objects. If it was demonic, you'd have the kitchen fridge flying at you, not a piece of foam core.
Right.
So that tells me and points me in the direction that whatever is in your house is probably a female spirit. The other reason I say that is because if you're sitting underneath the bathroom at 10, 11 at night, only women bathe, or shower at night. Men don't. We will go to bed and we will shower in the morning before we go to work. To me, to take a bath or a shower at night just doesn't seem to make any sense because I wake up, I want to do it again.
Yeah, so, men don't do that. That's a really good point.
So whoever's in the bathroom at 10, 11, walking around, possibly showering or bathing, that tells me you have a female spirit in the house.
And not only that, they're probably trying to get your attention.
Oh, no doubt about it.
We're here. They want you to probably communicate with them.
Yeah, I mean,
trying to reach out to you. Who knows?
Yeah, they will give indications that they want to communicate. And the fact that stuff that you keep a very close eye on is being moved and not just falling. I mean, you're finding it in the middle of the room.
Yes.
That's a clear sign they're trying to get your attention.
And like right now we're talking about it, they can hear you.
Yeah, they know what you're thinking, what you're doing, what's your next one.
Yes, I'm being yes. Yeah. And here's the other thing. I don't know what may be going on in other parts of the house, right? I don't know because I'm not there. So there's that. But this, what appears to be the sound of footsteps, this is going on directly above my head, right? It's not happening over in the kitchen or it's not happening in the front room. It's not happening. No, it's right where I can hear it. And I'm not stupid. I actually sat there and thought, you know what, that's only goes on when I sit here and it's right above my head. That's not a coincidence. And I've totally recognized that.
Right.
And the footstep, is it heavy though?
It sounds like, okay. Man, now that Tony says it could be a woman, they may be lighter, but it sounds like it doesn't sound like shoes. Okay, it doesn't. It's so maybe heavy bare feet kind of sound, thuddy, you know, like that. And it's not like one thump. It's like two or three every time. And this is okay. Now this is the other thought that I had, and I know that I'm wrong, but I'm trying to debunk this. Right? Is I thought I've got a squirrel, or I've got a rodent of some kind living, in the rafters, right, between the first and second floor, with some really big ass feet. and
I was
so
going to say that too.
Yeah, and I thought, but no, that's a really big creature. If that would be the case, and I just kind of took that off of the list. But what is happening is real. It's physical, and this isn't like. And here's the other part. Okay, and this is for the audience. I went outside and I looked on the side of the house just to see, maybe, but there's no tree, there's nothing there, and there's nothing on the second floor, right? I went around and looked to see if there was something hitting the outside of the house, which clearly that's not what was happening. You would hear it come from the outside. No, it's coming from the floor. Directly above my head, but I had to take that off of the list too as well, just to make sure. And the only thing that there was something making thud sounds in my bathroom at 11 o'clock at night. And okay, and here's and I've started to, because it's daily, I've started to just like ignore this stuff now, where. When something is happening, and this is a question for the audience, do you do the same thing, right? Do you, because it becomes so frequent that the shock is over, right? And now you're just moving on, because when, I'm watching TV and this happens, normally I stop looking. Stop. It's not, and the thud from upstairs, the fear of going up and checking it out, that doesn't even come into play anymore. I'm like my grandmother. That's our ghost. That's our ghost that lives here. I'm kind of like that. It's becoming passé.
Yeah, well, it's becoming passé because it wants to probably reveal more to you. It knows you're going looking on the side of the house for tree limbs that might be banging. It knows you're working through the scientific explanations for what might be causing it. And it also knows that you're eventually going to run out of them. And then you're going to have to reevaluate what you believe is happening.
Exactly.
So sooner or later, that crossroads of variables is going to happen. And the good thing is that it's being patient. It hasn't done anything to really have something happen that's so shocking that it freaks you out. So that tells you that it's definitely a human spirit, and my guess would be female. But when you get to the point that you want to know more, here's my suggestion. Because the house is big, and I heard you say it's upstairs, first of all, turn your motion detectors on downstairs and see what happens. Even if you don't go look, see what happens. 2, set up a camera. But instead of trying to figure out what room it may be in at that time, or whether it's upstairs or it's downstairs, put the camera on the stairs.
Why?
The reason being is because it is the only way to get from downstairs to upstairs. It's a narrow path which can easily be picked up by a camera. And if it's moving around the home, which it appears to be, it's got to go up and down the stairs. That is the only way to cross the levels. Now, could it do that without the camera even picking it up? Yeah, it could. But it's the location for your best success rate. How many haunted houses have we been in that the stairwell is always active?
Stairs,
right.
Yes. It's always.
So I would put that camera on the stairs from top to bottom so you can see both. See what happens.
Okay.
But you have to be ready to do that.
Oh, man. Okay, so I do it, right? I turn on the motion detectors, and that is just a bad idea, but okay. and I set up a camera on the stairs, and then I capture something. Then what? Now I'm scared, right? There's that. Do I bring in an exorcist? I mean, what? Then what?
You don't want to say the word scared, because to be honest, when you say that, they can hear you right now. They're going to play with you more.
Well, only if they're mean. And when I say mean, I'm not talking demonic. That's a whole different thing. And I don't even know if I believe that, because we haven't run into it in 12 years. But you can get some mean or disgruntled human spirits. But anyway.
Probably not mean, playful.
Well, it depends. But I guess the bottom question, Jimmy, is what you're willing to find out, how much you're willing to know. And if you're not willing to know any of it, or don't want to know any of it, then leave it as it is right now.
Or have others investigate
or have others check it out for you. Yeah.
I've got to get you guys out here.
We're volunteering.
Yeah, I've got to get you guys out here. And this question just popped up in Twitter. Jimmy, is the master bath near the closet with the shoes? Okay. And the answer to that is yes. And obviously there is like this connection, because when you go into the master bath off to the left, that's the entrance into the walk-in closet where these shoes want to dance by themselves. And that is the master bath that I'm hearing these footsteps from while I'm downstairs. Shoes, footsteps. Right. Okay. Well, there seems to be some kind of weird connection there. And I've thought about that a lot. And the other thing is the shoes, I have chosen not to video. I don't want to set up video. I don't want to see the shoes do their thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to see it. But I have heard it, and I've heard it twice. And the first time, I don't even think I've talked about the second time on the show. Or one or the other. But so I'm lying in bed, and I heard it, man. Thump. And I was like, no. Oh, man. Do I get up and go and see the shoes, or do I just stay here and finish this movie, right, and pull the covers up? do I? And because I'm alone. It's
right.
It's fun though. It's fun. It's like an e-ticket at Disneyland for sure. But the second time that this happened, this is a couple of weeks later, and then there it is, man. Thump, thump, thump. And I get up and I was like, come on, man, and I just walked right there, right in the middle of the floor, pair of shoes sitting there. And it's crazy. And that is right next to the bathroom. The entrance to the walk-in closet is right there. So is it all connected? Well, when we come back after the break, let's talk about your most recent investigation that happened last weekend. But I talked about this at the beginning of the show, where today ghosts have been talked about for thousands of years. We know this, right? That's it. It's part of our culture, every culture on this planet. But today we have the equipment and the gear to try to figure out what is going on. And then we also have science and physics and the multiverse and parallel worlds and entanglement and non-locality, the multiverse, 11 dimensions, where science is also talking about this too. So we have all of that I want to discuss after the break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman, Entity Voices Paranormal Investigation. We'll be right back after this short break, and we will continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
You're listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
This is Jimmy Church. Jason Martell's book, Knowledge Apocalypse 10-Year Anniversary Edition, is now available. Most ancient cultures speak of a time when their gods visited them. They never say their gods came from across the ocean or from the mountains. They always came down from the skies. Was ancient man visited by gods or extraterrestrials? We have not been told the full truth about our human past. There was a time when all the ancient cultures lived amongst beings they considered their gods. The search for truth leads us down the path of learning where the ETs might come from and why they are here. To understand some of these advanced topics and learn the truth about human origins, buy the new book from Jason Martell, Knowledge Apocalypse, now in its 10-year anniversary edition, available on Amazon.com by clicking on the banners over on our site, or simply visit JasonMartell.com. That's JasonMartell.com. Do you want to be an official Fadernaut? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman are with us. Entity Voices Paranormal Investigation. And they just got back. So I talked to Tony last week, and he said, Church, man, we just did this investigation last night. I said, save it for the show. I don't want to know anything. So now, where did you guys do your investigation?
We were at the 1910 Globe Jail in Globe, Arizona.
And who picked the site?
Well, actually, Rick McCollum from the Hollywood Ghost Hunters and I suggested the site. It was a unique experience because our son started investigating with us when he was seven years old.
Yeah.
He's now 15. So did we maybe start him a little too early? Yeah, we might have. But he enjoyed it. He was never scared. He was never frightened. We were always with him. But he learned a lot.
He has the same passion too.
Yeah, he has a similar passion to the paranormal. And that grew and grew and grew. And when we ran the old Phelps Dodge, he was always there. Mm-hmm. He would overnight investigate with us there. He would sleep there till morning and investigate. So he wanted to investigate a location he hadn't been to before. Mm-hmm. And he said, I want to investigate with somebody who's had years and years and years of experience. Well, that's Rick McCollum, because he's got like 52 years of investigation. So then the Spirit Realm Network produced it live. And so it was really the two of them that were the main investigators, although Cherie and I had investigated that place 2 or 3 times prior. Yeah, and it's a great location. And we did run into things. I mean, we got some amazing stuff on the EVOX. Just a crazy array of voices. It was a great location. So, and the live went well, and they both had just a fantastic time doing it, because that jail is extremely active. Mm. So it was a great experience.
And anything happen? Anything stand out?
Yeah, I mean, there was. They locked Dylan in what was the solitary confinement cell.
Not cool. Not cool.
Well, he was fine with it. And then we gave him the EVOX. And they were calling out his name just during the time he was in the solitary confinement cell. I probably heard it say Dylan 3 times. And it called out Rick. It called out Jim. It called out me multiple times. And no one was even asking questions. Dylan was talking, but not asking questions like, can you say this person's name? He was just speaking like, he was saying things like, okay, this is where you spent time if you were bad. This is a small cell, things, and it was spitting out names left and right, and our names, not names we didn't know. So that was really cool when that occurred.
The EVOX, you build a lot of your own gear, and this is one of the pieces of equipment. If you could explain how it works, because it's different. I'm not going to get specific here because I don't want to irritate anybody, but some of that stuff is hard for me to listen to, especially on TV where you just got, at full volume. Right. That's not what happens with the EVOX. It's only talking when it's got something to say. And
right.
And it freaked me out because we're sitting there in the dead silence, and you got this box going, "Church, get out!" And you jump back because it's you don't even know that it's running because you can't hear it. So, what is the EVOX?
Well, the EVOX was when we first started getting unbelievably interested in EVPs. We moved on to spirit boxes because we wanted to find a way to have that real-time communication. So we started out with something simple. We started with the SB7, which is used by every paranormal investigator around the globe. And they work. The problem is that the white noise is so overwhelming that it is terribly difficult to hear the responses. Mm-hmm. And so one of the first things I said to Cherie was, there's answers here. And then I went through recording after recording after recording, and I said, Cherie, they answered 90% of our questions. It's just really hard to hear over the white noise. Yeah. So I said, I'm going to find a way to clean this up. So we built the first EVOX, which was really just kind of a sound dampening device that would take the SB7 and lower the
volume of the white noise.
Right. It would lower the volume. It would enhance the true voices that were coming through, and it worked relatively well. Yeah. But on our last version that we built, we said, okay, I want to take this steps further. We took out the white noise completely. This thing can be on, and unless someone's speaking, you wouldn't even know it's on.
Right.
It is dead silent.
Right.
And that is such a relief when you have to listen to hours upon hours of spirit box being run over a weekend or a week investigation.
Especially when you're editing, it's easy for us to, catch the voice.
Right. You can hear the voice clear as a bell. The white noise is still available for them to use, meaning the spirits to use and manipulate. We just made it so it's not audible through the speakers. So there's electronic components in there that remove it. And then what we did was, because it does scan radio frequencies, we took the top 20 known radio, 101.1 or 0.5, 94.5, and we removed them, meaning that when it scans, when it climbs to those numbers where it's going to hit a radio station, the ones we programmed in, it skips right over. So you're not going to hear at Circle K or refinance your car today. We don't hear any of that. Yeah. So it skips known radio stations. Then we broaden the band. So instead of going from just 88.6 to 107.9, we increased it on both sides, probably 25 or 30 station lengths to increase the length of radio wave frequency that the box can scan through.
Outside of the broadcast spectrum.
Correct.
Outside of the FCC broadcast spectrum that is assigned to radio stations. Right. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. And now, in this investigation, did you guys bring video equipment too as well?
We did. We brought parabolic mics. We had handheld video, and of course, it was being shown live. So professional cameras that were pumping out the satellite signal, or not satellite, Wi-Fi, cellular signal. to send it out. So it hasn't been reposted yet. The live went out. I'm waiting for the repost because we know some things happened. We know we heard things that at the moment when it happened, we didn't have recorders running. So we're hoping it's on the live. And it was even called out when it happened. Oh my God, did you hear that? What was that? We had unbelievable K2 and REM pod going off in the male cell. We had the whole thing K2 and stuff going on in the women's ward. Yeah. It was a really, really cool investigation as far as, but we didn't get a lot of, though, were EVPs. Now, I haven't listened to the parabolic mic yet, which I need to do, but that probably won't happen until this weekend. But I probably have 4+ hours of recording through the parabolic mic.
How long does it take you, because we're going to get to these EVPs here in just a minute, obviously the EVPs are recorded in real time, so you have to listen to them in real time. And if you have maybe multiple recordings being done and you've done an 8-hour investigation, are we talking about 72 hours of sitting and listening to files?
Yep. The more recorders you run, because an EVP can show up on one recorder, it can show up on all recorders, so you have to go through every single one. Yeah. So if I've placed 4 recorders for 2 hours each in 4 different rooms, I've got 8 hours of audio to go through.
And Cherie, who's better at listening to the files, you or Tony? Yeah, I figured. And what do you listen for? She raised her hand. You know, that's bad radio. You're supposed to say me.
Yeah, you got to speak up.
Yeah, you got to.
It's me.
It's me. What do you listen for?
Well, we listen to there's a you can tell whether it's a disembodied voice, a whisper behind, or if there's a
what is disembodied? Well, what is disembodied?
Disembodied has a different sound to it. If you listen to a human speaking who's using their larynx, using their throat to create a sound wave that's interpreted by the microphone, that sounds different than what she's calling a disembodied voice or a spirit voice, where I doubt the mic was ever even used, because the spirit's not going to create a sound wave. It's going to transfer that message directly to the machine, and they do not sound the same.
Okay, so when that voice that we heard on the Queen Mary, that wasn't captured on EVP. That wasn't a recording. That was something that we heard. Is that a disembodied voice?
It's a disembodied voice, but it had to have a way to create a physical sound wave. Right. Or our ears wouldn't have heard it.
That's correct.
So therefore, it's still disembodied because it didn't come from any human in the room. It came from somebody else or some other spirit.
Right.
But it was able to create, and you know, if spirits are truly energy, there is absolutely no reason why they can't create a sound wave to flow through our environment that our ears can pick up. I mean, that makes more than sense.
Yeah, and in a general way of looking at this, an EVP is only captured digitally and wasn't necessarily heard by the ears of everybody there, right?
Correct. And you don't get the answer till you review the digital recording.
Which takes me back to you, Cherie. You've got a question that you're listening to, right? Somebody is asking a question, and then you're listening for a response in this file, right?
Okay.
Yes?
Yes.
And are you listening for something low in volume, or are they louder? Do you have to enhance the file? How do you hear? I mean, I'm sure, I guess what I'm asking is, sometimes somebody that doesn't know what they're listening for would never even hear it, right? So you have to be listening, and it doesn't have to, the response isn't necessarily right after the question. It could be later on in the file.
Exactly.
And so what are you listening for in that file that's going to cause you to stop and go, I think we have something here?
Well, first of all, of course, I have to listen first. What was the question? And then throughout, if there's no response, and then you'll hear more voices in there, whether that would be an answer to that question. So sometimes it's hard whether, hey, I ask him sometimes, I hear this, let's just say it mentions some names. So I know that already a response to the question, because you can tell whether if it's a spirit answering you, responding to you, you can tell by your question and the answer.
Yeah, but
that makes
But
sense.
you're listening all over the spectrum. They can be low tone whispers. They can be high tone.
Right.
They can be at 2-3 times a normal human speech pattern, where the words come by so fast you're not even sure what was said on the first listen to it. They can come in reverse. You have to literally, and that's why anytime we're reviewing, we put it through audio software that brings up an audio graph that allows us to not only hear it, but to see what's going on in the waveform. Because there's times that I can, without even listening to the recording, look at the audio graph and say, there's something here.
You're looking at the waveform, right?
And also the tonality.
Yeah.
Right. And so, Cherie, since you're the expert,
I'm not the expert.
What I find interesting
There's no such thing.
because I deal with waveforms every day, right? And I'm looking at them, and I know where to go, where to grab, what to edit, and you're used to seeing what you're seeing, right? And high frequency, low frequency, you can see all of that, of course, volume. So are you able to do that now? Look at a waveform and go, there's the answer. You don't even have to listen to the other part of the waveform, right? Are you able to just visually see it and then go and listen?
Yes. Sometimes I don't have to look at the graph. I know already that's the answer.
Right.
It depends. You can be misled by the graph too, because some outside noise may affect it, or and all EVPs don't come in the same shape or the same form or the same frequency. We've been trying to narrow down the frequency EVPs come in at for the last 10 years, and still, we've narrowed it, but not even close to being able to identify.
Yeah, and sometimes it's hard to understand, especially like we argue all the time it's being said.
Yes.
Those are the ones that go in the trash, but
yeah,
some of our worst fights have been over what EVPs have said.
Well, there was a moment, I was with our friend Susan Slaughter.
Yeah.
And the three of us, there was another investigator there that was running the digital recorder. Okay, so it's myself, Susan, and this third party. And we're in this dark hallway underground. Again, the perfect setup for crazy stuff to happen. And we're in the dark. And there were cameras there, so there was a little bit of ambient light, but we're basically in the dark. And we're doing this EVP session. And sure as I'm sitting here right now, it was just mind-blowing for me. So quiet because we're underground, right? And we're in this dark. And so I asked some question. And whatever it is there evidence in this box that you're here and you committed a crime? Whatever, right? There's my question. And we pause for like 15 seconds, real quiet, right? And he plays it back. And man, I could not believe what was on this recorder, with the little speaker, plays it back. Now, is there evidence in this box? And the response was like, absolutely, church, whatever it was. But it was just, it was, and we were purposefully silent for like 15 seconds. And to hear it come back recorded like that. And I mean, I'm looking at Susan. She's laughing. I'm losing my mind. But just like you guys do this all the time, right? But when you see it happen and you hear it happen, it changes you. I mean, it really forces you to have a whole nother perspective on this, that this stuff is a reality, and we've just got to figure out what's going on. So let's get to some of these EVPs. Let me see what I got here. And not in any particular or can I just pick these out at random?
Yep.
And you'll know what I'm talking about by just saying it? Okay. All right. Now, I haven't listened to any of these. I did this on purpose, so I don't have audio levels or anything. That's for the audience. So we just let me get this set up. Okay. Are you scared to meet Christ? Can I play this one?
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to play this one more time. What? Well, that definitely is, are you scared to meet Christ? Okay, I'm going to play this one more time. Okay, all right. When and where? What's the story with this?
3 a.m. in the morning, the La Posada Hotel in Winslow, Arizona. We were wandering around the entire hotel late at night. There was no one awake. There was no one even in the hotel except for the front desk, which was probably 400, 500 feet away from us. And Cherie and I are in there, and I don't even remember what I asked because it wasn't even relevant. But when I remember playing that back going, did I just hear what I think I heard? Did he just say, are you scared to meet Christ? Which is just the strangest EVP I've ever heard. And then the other thing that crossed my mind is he asking me now? I mean, am I gonna meet him now? Is he gonna kill me? What kind of, and I'm thinking, okay, was that just a generic question? Are you scared to meet him eventually? Are you scared because you're gonna meet him in 2 minutes? I mean, it was just, and it's so clear. It was shocking.
It really clear. Cherie, is there any history to the Posada and religion or with somebody there that you could tie this to?
It was just my first time going there, and I don't really know the history of that hotel. But when we after we investigate over there, actually there's something happened really bad when we did the investigation. We're very new.
We were new.
We were so new, and we are stupid. Or
we made
I
mistakes.
am probably, and we don't know anything so much about investigation. And then we went to a location that we didn't even know that it's very, very, very active. So that night, I think I know the reason why that spirit says, "Are you afraid to meet Christ?" And
why?
I thought I'm gonna lose Tony that night.
Yeah, she unfortunately, the hotel's got underground tunnels that used to run underneath the city.
Yeah.
Well, we got access to them, and through their basement. Now, most of them are blocked. They only go back so far, but there was so much activity down there. Shadow figures, voices we could hear with our own ears. EVP after EVP after EVP. Well, Cherie said, I want to see you move an object. If you don't have enough energy, you can use my husband's. And that was the biggest mistake she ever made because of what happened that night.
Yes, and probably maybe I'm thinking, oh my gosh, my husband's going to die. And probably this spirit is saying, are you afraid to meet Christ? Because
might have been connected.
Yeah,
You know, it sounds, I'm going to play it one more time, then I'm going to tell you what I think it sounds like. Here we go. Let's listen to it again. That's a priest.
It's got that tonality.
It's a priest. Yeah.
Manner of speaking.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's a dude with his Bible open, looking at you. Are you prepared to meet Christ? Well, not really. Not now. You mean now?
That's what I was thinking. Like now?
What? That's a Class A EVP right there. Let's take our break. Tony and Cherie Rathman are with us. I've got a lot of EVPs. We've got a lot of fun in front of us. Entity Voices, Paranormal Investigations. Tony and Cherie Rathman are with us. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Your 1 million gigawatt paranormal powerhouse, KUNX-DB. VX.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? UNX Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNX-DB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to GetTheT.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's GetTheT.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from Rivermoon. Just click on the Rivermoon Coffee banner at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Promo code F2B Blend.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard. Available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Gold loves chaos, uncertainty, and disarray. History shows us what gold does when people aren't sure about the government, the stock market, their jobs, or their retirement savings. Our national debt is skyrocketing. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against inflation and a stock market that might take years to recover. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? Call United Gold Group. We offer gold and other precious metals delivered securely within 72 hours. Are you worried about about the stock market? We can also help you set up a real gold or silver IRA or a 401k. Safe and secure. United Gold Group makes gold ownership affordable. Call now and get up to $2,500 in free gold or silver with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit UnitedGoldGroup.com.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman are with us, ghost hunting all night long. And EVPs, I go back, what's funny with all of this, and I know I'm not planting a flag here, like I'm, coming up with something new. I go back to those early days of Art Bell and Coast to Coast. And listening to EVPs, at 1 o'clock in the morning in the dark, right? Just like a bad idea. And I got so into it, and and it's never changed. I'm so fascinated with it. And there were always two, and I don't know what's coming up here tonight, so don't spoil it, okay? But like. Children messed with me. There was this melancholy, forlorn thing about it, right? And it just really messed with me. But EVPs and the process and the environment and everything that is around each one adds to it, right? And I've just been fascinated with it. So let's go to the next. Let's see. This next one is called Dishonor. Okay. What's the background behind this?
Well, we were in the Hotel San Carlos in the basement. And Cherie literally asked, "Can you tell me your name?" Mm-hmm. And this creepy, what sounds like a
witch.
She
sounds like a witch.
It's a woman, and the way she says dishonor, and it is so clear that you would swear that somebody was standing next to us and said it. We were the only two. We were the only two allowed in the basement, and the door locked behind us. You can get out, but nobody else can get in. Mm-hmm. This voice is so clear and so creepy. But Cherie says something like, "Are there any spirits here? Can you tell me what's your name?" Something like that. And then this voice shows up. And
okay. And these are all done with the digital recorder.
Recorder.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Here we go. Let's see what we got.
Are there anybody in here? Can you say hello? Dishonor.
That ain't right.
No, that's not right at all.
That's creepy.
We were listening to that driving home, so it played in the car, and we had to pull the car over. We're like, "What was that? There's no way we just heard that."
Let's hear this again.
Can you say hello? Dishonor.
What kind of accent is that?
I have no idea. It reminds me of the witch from Snow White, That is who I picture when I hear that voice.
I'm thinking Wizard of Oz. I'm going a stage creepier. Okay, let's play this again. That's awesome right there.
Yeah.
It's the way she says the R at the end. She kind of rolls it.
Can you say hello?
Dishonor. You guys are alone.
Right?
Yeah, that's in the basement.
Yeah, we're alone. Just the two of us.
Cherie, what'd you do to make her so mad?
I don't know. And it feels like this entity is like standing next to me. It's very close to the recorder. Like you can hear it's very, very clear.
Well, weren't you asking me if I move something or wind hits your hair because your hair was moving?
Did you feel a presence?
Not really.
No.
Although that place is so freaky that it's hard to tell, because the whole essence of that basement is just an overwhelming feeling of that they're standing all around you. So I guess, yes, you could say you feel a presence, because anytime you go down there, it feels like that.
You jump when that thing moves.
Oh, the pipe shook, yeah.
Yeah, now, but here's the deal with this. Did you hear it?
No, with our
Only
own ears, no.
Because it's so loud and clear.
Yeah.
That is crazy. That's okay. That's another Class A EVP. You guys should call your company. You do call it entity voices. That's crazy. I mean, it is perfectly clear, and that there's an accent there.
Yeah.
And almost it's European. I just can't put my finger on it, but there's an accent. It's not really Italian. It's not like Eastern. I don't know. I mean, could it be like Romanian, Transylvania?
Could be.
Yeah, to me it sounds like a witch.
Yeah, it's like
a raspy voice.
Dishonor. Wow, that's crazy.
I don't know why he or she said dishonor. Am I dishonor?
Yeah,
something I did.
Yeah. You were definitely not. You weren't making somebody happy.
No.
You were not honoring witchcraft or something.
Right.
Oh, man. Okay, so this next one, don't stand there. What's the story behind this?
Phelps Dodge Hospital. There was a ton of activity that night. It felt like the hospital was still active, even though it had been closed for, 50 years, 40 years. But I just felt like there were people walking all over the place. So I turned my recorder on. I didn't even say anything. I'm just showing down the hallway, and that's what they say.
Okay, did you ask a question?
No.
Okay, here we go. Don't stand there.
Right.
And let's play this again. That's yeah. Wow. Okay. So were you standing someplace that you shouldn't have been?
I was standing outside of the main operating room.
Yeah.
And again, you didn't hear this.
Did not hear it.
And again, a weird accent too, as well. I mean,
and almost an echo, which is so strange.
Yes. Okay, that was my next point. Now that Tony said that, listen for that. It sounds distant. Yeah. Almost facing you from.
Yeah, it also sounds almost double voiced. Like there's more than one voice saying it in conjunction.
In unison.
In unison, yes.
Yeah, let's play this again. Yeah, that is awesome. Don't stand there. Clear as a bell. And again, any background to this? Now that you hear this, is there any history of warnings? Not to be there.
Well, no, not that. We ran that hospital for almost 4 years,
right?
And we're in there 3-4 times a week. So we have more evidence from that hospital probably than anybody on the planet. But some incredible stuff has gone on in there. And we know that we have recordings of complete conversations. We've got recordings of people, what sounds like doctors screaming for instruments to be brought to them. We've got EVPs of people screaming in pain. Yeah. And I think that was just a worker saying, I was right by the door. They go in and out. They were probably like, don't stay. You can't stand there, buddy. Move.
Right. Wow. Okay, next up. I don't even like the title of this next file. I am Michael.
Oh, again, Phelps Dodge. We were in there, and Chris asked if Mary, another spirit that we had got the name of, she said, my name is Mary. Or Chris asked, what's your name? She said, Mary. We were in there a couple days later, and Chris was asking for Mary. And this is what the response came back on the EVP.
Again, you didn't hear it.
Nope.
You just captured it.
Correct.
Okay, here we go. I am Michael.
Mary, are you in here again? Mary, are you in here again?
Okay, so that's a whisper.
Yep.
That's a whisper. And listen again, everybody. Here we go.
Mary, are you in here again?
Yeah. Okay, what's the question being asked?
Mary, are you in here again?
What's the question?
He asked Mary, are you in here again? Because a couple days prior, he asked, he knew there was a spirit there. He said, what's your name? She said, Mary. We came back a couple days later. He went to the same room or same hallway, said, Mary, are you in here again? And that's when we got Michael's voice.
Okay. Now, okay.
Mary, are you in here again?
Okay. Now this is elevated to a whole nother level of scary. Now I know the question, right? Mary, right? And you hear it right there in the front, and the response is immediate.
Mary, are you in here again?
I am Michael. Wow. What's your reaction to that?
Well, we were amazed that he gave us his name, but he did so much more after that. I mean, we were shocked that he actually, because we were asking for Mary, who did give us her name, and then to get another spirit say, I am Michael, meaning not Mary. You're asking for Mary. I'm Michael.
Michael was here.
Yeah.
Probably.
Michael showed up. Oh my gosh. Every time we went in there, he'd answer us. He followed Chris and Audra down to Tombstone. He followed us to the Philippines. We have his voice with Cherie asking if the spirits will communicate with us. Michael says, I can help you. Same voice. Yeah.
And
across the world.
Have you found out who Michael is?
We tried.
We tried. We actually think his last name might be Olson.
Yeah.
And in the town, the name Olson was huge. And there were Olsons both as patients and as employees in the hospital. So we haven't been able to narrow it past that because it was a hospital, so records are not available to go through. But that's who we think it is, but that's assumption.
Wow. Question and answer. I love it. I took the battery. I think
that's also Phelps Dodge. So Cherie's camera died. And she literally, we were having equipment after equipment go out, and not something that's normal. I mean, these were freshly charged batteries, or we just replaced them, and a couple minutes later, the device would go dead. So we're walking down the hall, and Cherie flat out asks, "Are you draining our batteries?" And this is the response.
Now, what is it? What is it with the draining of batteries?
It's energy.
I know.
It's energy they can use. It's energy they can use to create other activity, communicate, move things. Batteries are a great source for them to drain and to take.
Now, which one of you is in charge of batteries?
Me.
You have to stay on top of your game, right? You can't be caught without batteries, and batteries are being drained all the time, right? So obviously you've got spares, but you've got spares for the spares. You have to.
And spares for the spares for the spares.
Right.
Yep. And we always
we bring
use
rechargeables as well.
Yeah.
We set them all up to charge even when every battery is ready to go and brand new, because we know we're going to cycle through them.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I took the battery.
Are you draining our batteries?
Okay, that one's a little bit tougher to hear. Let's hear this again.
Yep. Are you draining our batteries?
Okay, so that's open to interpretation.
I took your batteries.
A little bit. The word battery to me is undeniable, but
Right.
But everybody's ears are different, so I agree. That one's harder to hear.
That one's harder to hear. I mean, I can hear, let's see.
Are you draining our batteries?
Well, I hear I took. That
the battery, it sounds like batteries.
Yeah. But it definitely says
Are
I
you
took.
draining our batteries?
Yeah, I took the batteries. Yeah, wow. Okay, so how, with something like that, where there's an obvious response, how much cleanup do you have to do to that file? Or is what we're listening to the way it came through?
There might be a slight volume enhancement to it, but that's it.
Yeah, because that's what that sounds like to me. That's not enhanced.
Nope.
Yeah, that's the reason I asked the question. Okay, I don't like the title to this next one either, but we're going to do it anyway. Mama.
You can answer that one.
Oh, okay. I think that's in
La Posada.
La Posada again, which the one that you thought it's the priest.
Mm-hmm.
It's we were in the basement,
Underground tunnels,
and there is a small opening. It's a tunnel, and I was going to go there, like crawl. I told Tony, "Hey, come over here. Can I go over there in that tunnel?" And so that's where that come here, mama.
So you had to, it was too, you couldn't walk in, you had to crawl in?
Yeah, because I'm the only one can fit.
It was a smaller opening. Like I said, they blocked a lot of the tunnels, or they collapsed in certain areas. So this was a much smaller opening, and Cherie was going to go in. And then as we were talking about it and discussing, I'm like, well, if you get trapped, I don't know if I can get in there to help. And so we played back one of the recorders, and this is what was on it. And then Cherie said, "I'm not going."
So you didn't go.
No, Tony doesn't want me to go.
Man, you're crazy to even think about it. So if Tony would have said yes, you're crawling.
I would.
Oh, man. Not me. No. Here we go.
Excuse me.
Oh, no. Okay. That's nuts.
It's really fast, too. It's coming along. Come here, mama. Come here, mama.
That's crazy.
But the fact that they knew she was a mother, I mean, that.
Yes.
Why would you say that? I mean, they knew.
My kids call me mama.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Let's play this again. So you're not, if you, okay, look, let's just be honest here. If you had heard that in front of all of this, you're not going in that tunnel, number one.
I'm not going.
Right, you're not going. What made you listen to this before you went into the tunnel?
Because they were on. We realized they were on. Obviously, I would have taken it with her as well, but because we were having a conversation, and when we stopped talking, that's what showed up. Then Cherie's like, I think I'll pass.
It sounds now. It sounds like "Let's Go, Mama." Is that what do you guys hear?
I think it's "Come Here, Mama."
Come here, Mama. It's crazy, man.
Come here, Mama.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna play this again. That's awesome. Yeah. So, is it said twice?
No, I think Cherie
That was
said something at the end.
Yeah, that was me.
Okay. So we have "Let's Go, Mama." Come here, Mama. Man, I'm gonna play this again. Yeah. Okay, so the second part is Cherie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, why would you say "Mama" after that? You didn't hear the voice say it, right?
Yeah, it sounds like you said, "Let's go, Mama." It's your voice.
The second time. Cherie, don't look at me like you can't hear this.
Oh, I was trying to.
She's looking at me like, "Church, what are you talking?"
Oh, I didn't even know because the camera's over here. I'm like.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Cover your tracks. Let's listen to this again. Oh, okay. You don't say "Mama" there. You say something else.
I think I said I don't know.
Yeah. The second one's definitely Cherie, though.
Yeah, the second
Cherie's
one
voice.
is me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's creepy. That is creepy.
I think it says if it's not "Come here, Mama" or "I'm here, Mama."
Yeah.
One of them.
Now, I don't know. Okay, we're going to have to go into overtime tonight. I'm looking at the clock, and we still have 1, 2, 3. We've got 5 or 6. What?
Oh, I was pointing at the camera because I was doing this because I was looking in here. This is the TV.
She's having too much fun, Tony. She's having too much fun. She's having too much fun. We've got a lot to cover here tonight, so I'm gonna have to hold you over for another 20 minutes. You guys cool with that? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's this next one is Gestapo. Now that right there is just freaky. Is Gestapo said in this EVP?
Yes.
Okay. What's the story behind this?
Well, again, this is the Phelps Dodge Hospital. Now you got to remember that half the hospital was built by the New Cornelia Mining Company, then bought by the Phelps Dodge. The hospital was put there strictly and solely to support the miners who got hurt working in the open pit mine and their families. So you had people that came from all over the world, usually alone, because most of the bodies that had passed in the hospital, there were no family members even around to give the bodies to. But there's strange accents here. So I don't know what accent or what country, but just a word like Gestapo, I mean, that kind of helps identify region.
But when did the hospital close?
1986 was the last year it was open.
Operational.
It started in 1919 and ran to 1986.
So it was open during World War II.
Oh, yes.
Okay, here we go. Okay, I think we need to listen to this some more after the break. There's a few words there.
There are, and there's other voices in the background. It is crazy.
Let's play this one more time. Okay, man, that's a friggin' ghost.
Yeah.
That's like creepy. That is intimidating. That is authoritative.
Yep.
And that's crazy. That's scary. That's not funny. Ha ha. EVP time.
No.
That's not let's go, mama. That's
right.
That is something else going on altogether.
Yeah.
That's for sure. That's for sure. And those are the ones that I find the most intriguing. And I know that you're looking to take another break, but that's why we were so fascinated with EVPs, because unlike any other piece of equipment that a light lights up or it plays music, there's so much involved in an EVP. Before you even get to what's being said, whether it's male or female, whether it's an adult or a child, what language they're speaking, if there's an accent. There is a wealth of information. Their emotional state, whether they're happy, angry, sad. You have all that information before you even get to what they actually said. That to us is what drew us into the spirit communication.
Well, it's you're listening to okay. All of your points are so valid because you can tie in things, like you said, right? Male, female, old, young, sad, happy. It's a whole nother thing where you get Gestapo.
Right.
Well, hold on a minute here. That's not happy time. And that voice is not it's intimidating. It's scary.
It is.
Yeah, it seems like it's angry.
Angry.
It was very authoritative, very like you guys aren't supposed to be here. I mean, it's just scary.
Yeah, I almost hear the pacing of the boots in the background. They are killing the girl tonight, old man. Save her and sign the papers. It's
right.
That's
exactly what it sounds like.
Wow, man. Let's take our break right here. This is Fade to Black. Our guests tonight, Tony and Cherie Rathman. Entity voice is Paranormal Investigation. We've got some more EVPs to listen to right after the break. We're going to head into overtime. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Listening to Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the X.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church. Jason Martell's book, Knowledge Apocalypse 10-Year Anniversary Edition, is now available. Most ancient cultures speak of a time when their gods visited them. They never say their gods came from across the ocean or from the mountains. They always came down from the skies. Was ancient man visited by gods or extraterrestrials? We have not been told the full truth about our human past. There was a time when all the ancient cultures lived amongst beings they considered their gods. The search for truth leads us down the path of learning where the ETs might come from and why they are here. To understand some of these advanced topics and learn the truth about human origins, buy the new book from Jason Martell, Knowledge Apocalypse, now in its 10-year anniversary edition, available on Amazon.com by clicking on the banners over on our site, or simply visit jasonmartell.com. That's jasonmartell.com. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com.
Are you ready to read about true paranormal events? Unex Media publishes nonfiction books about UFOs, ghosts and haunted places, time anomalies, cryptid creatures, and more. Just like KUNXDB Radio, it's all about unexplained phenomena. Visit www.unxmedia.com to see our list of great book titles by Debbie Ziegelmeyer, Gene Walker, Devin Listrom, Wayne Lawrence, Bill Spicer, and yours truly, Margie Kay. That's unxmedia.com.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening to JamieChurchRadio.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Welcome back. Fade to Black, Overtime. Tony and Cherie Rathman, Entity Voices, Paranormal Investigations. We're going through some EVPs tonight, but I would say that the votes are in on that last one. That one wasn't playing nice. That one was sending a message. That was creepy. That was creepy. What is, before we get to the rest of these, what are you guys doing next? What's your next investigation?
Well, let's see. We got a Paracon coming up. We're going
to Tala.
Oh yeah, we're going to Trans-Allegheny in May, and then we're going to Ohio. I think we're still trying to work out timing. In June, it's an old mortuary house, and we're going to ourselves, Tim Woolworth, Katie Stafford, Ron and Lourdes. We're basically going to have the house, Austin Maynard. The house is going to be wired so that every room's got a different device made by a different person or a different device. And we're going to literally bring the house to life from a communication standpoint.
Was it you that showed me the Tesla coils?
Yeah, we had them there at the Queen Mary.
Yeah. We'll talk about that at another time, but those are really cool too as well. Wait a minute. Did you say mortuary house?
Yeah, it's just it's a freestanding house, but it was used as a
before, I believe it's a mortuary.
It was a mortuary before, correct?
It's a house now. This is just a bad idea, you guys. It's just a bad idea from the word go. Whose brainiac move was this?
I picked the wrong word. Funeral home. It was a funeral home, not a mortuary.
Even worse. Is this, Cherie, is this your idea?
No, it's not. I didn't even know that we're going. He just told me.
Things just come flying at us when it comes to the paranormal, and anything I see that I'm like, you know what? That sounds like it'd be interesting. We accept.
So this is like 6 feet under, but for real.
Right.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. No. You guys can tell me about it after.
All right, we will.
Okay. Next up, they came here. What's the story?
Phelps Dodge again, or was that San Carlos? I don't remember. But we showed up, and Cherie starts her recorder even before we show up. I start mine the second I walk through the threshold, and then these voices just showed up. They came here like they were surprised that we actually showed up. And there's something else on there too. I can't remember. That's what the title was, because that's the one that's the most prominently heard. But there's something after it. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But it's just this surprised reaction, like they came here, like they didn't expect us to.
Okay, here we go.
Something's humming.
Okay, it's like twice. Okay, here we go. Okay, stop right there. Okay.
Oh, I heard it too.
Yeah. You think? And that's a female voice out of the gate. They came here.
Yep.
And so it sounds like, okay, this is what I'm picturing right there. It's a group of ghosts talking to each other.
Yep.
Right? They are saying to ghost partner, they came here.
Right.
Right? They're not talking to you.
No.
They're talking
to each other.
They're talking about you.
Right.
Right. That's crazy town. Okay, let me start this over. It's right at the front.
Something's humming.
Okay, so it's twice, maybe 3 times.
Right.
Wow, dude.
And you know what I noticed when we're trying to investigate, it's easier for the spirits to speak up when you're not really talking to them. Like when you're asking a question, is there any spirits in here? Mm-hmm. Sometimes they won't answer, but if Tony and I are talking, they will
interject and say stuff. If we get better, we've gotten our best EVPs when her and I are having a conversation, and literally in the second or two that exists in between me or her talking, they'll leave stuff on the recorder in between.
Yeah, well, so this sounds, I mean, clearly in the front, right, is they came here, female voice, and then the second voice is female, but it's not the same voice.
I think the second one is Cherie.
No.
I have very
You're in there.
strong.
No, you can hear Cherie. I'm talking about the background. Listen.
Oh, okay.
Something's humming.
Right there. Okay, so there's
That's not
two.
Cherie.
No, there's two they came here's.
Yep.
And the first one is clear. The second one is a different female voice. It just sounds like they came here too. But clearly it's repeated. I'm going to play it again.
Something's humming.
Wow, that's crazy town, man. That's crazy town. Yeah, they weren't happy. And so that was as soon as you guys got there.
Yeah.
Second we walked in.
Wow, man. That first voice, I mean, it just makes your hair stand up, right? I mean, it's just like right there. Wow.
And again, like I was saying before, you can sense emotion. You can hear the surprise factor in the voice. They came here, like the way the words roll off that sentence. They came here with that emotional impact to it.
Almost pissed off.
Yeah.
Almost, not happy. Oh man, they came here. You know. Wow. Wow, that's really cool. Okay. The next one is what? You want my name? And there's a bad word there. I'm not going to say the bad word. I want to hear the bad word. I want the audience to hear the bad word. Okay. Where was this recorded?
This one was captured at the Hotel San Carlos. And we never even thought about this until one of our teammates, Chris, pointed it out. But the Hotel San Carlos had a reputation when it was first built for being very discreet. And there was an underground tunnel that led, other places of the city in Phoenix too. Matter of fact, when they put in the light rail, they hit it trying to put it in the light rail and discovered it. But there was a tunnel that ran from the Hotel San Carlos to the Westward Ho. And when Kennedy and Marilyn Monroe would come to town, one would stay at one hotel, the other at the other, so they looked like they were both alone and could get together through that underground tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
So when I asked, can you tell me your name in the Hotel San Carlos, I got this surprised reaction, which you're about to play. And then Chris said, you know what, that hotel was known. The fact that you're asking their name is probably why you're getting such a strong response like, what? You want my name?
Okay, here we go.
Can you tell me your name?
You know what I almost said? What? This is going to be Marilyn Monroe's voice, right? Could be. I hate to say it. Okay, so let's play this again. This is the first time I've heard it.
Can you tell me your name?
Okay, so the response is what? You want my name? Shit.
Yep.
And
it is what? You want my name? Shit.
Yes.
Can you tell me your name? Can you tell me your name?
Okay, that's a female voice, right? Am I wrong?
It could be. It's a whisper, so those are a little harder to tell, but it could be.
It's a whisper.
Yeah.
Cherie, what do you think's going on there? You're a woman. What's happening?
I don't know. Tony get all this weird response, especially when he's asking, can I get your name? Of course, they're gonna, what, do you want my name? I don't know. We get all those.
They were freaked out by it though, because we were inquiring into their personal identity.
Yeah.
And like I said, the hotel was known for people to come and go without questions asked.
Right.
And I was asking for a name.
That's a definite whisper. That's a whisper. That's not
right. It's a whisper.
And a whisper with attitude.
With attitude, exactly.
Ah, man, let's.
You want my name? It sounds like. It's a female, younger female.
Yeah, let's play it again.
Can you tell me your name?
That is awesome. That is awesome. Who was that? Who
No
was
idea.
that? Who was that? Man,
Couldn't tell you.
It's a female whisper, right? Cherie, is that a female voice?
I think it's a younger female whisper.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
You know, over the year, we've investigated that place over 50 times. And every month or two, every name we knew would clear out and we'd get brand new ones. So there's some sort of portal open in the basement that's allowing them to come and go. But we would always get new names. So who that was, I have no idea.
Now, you've mentioned these tunnels. I've never heard about this before. We've talked about this hotel before. But this is the first time you've told me about the tunnels. It's the first time that I think that you've told me about it. What's the purpose of those, and can anybody go into them?
No, most people didn't even know they existed. They were built probably during the Prohibition days. They were used to move alcohol around. There was a bar underground, a bowling alley, all sorts of different rooms. In fact, on Central Avenue, there were these strange colored windows, not windows, but I guess like colored floor plates in the sidewalk. And for years, nobody could figure out what they were. Well, when they put the light rail in and had to dig the road up, they hit the tunnel.
Yeah.
Those things cemented into the sidewalk were to let light
skylights
into the tunnel.
Yeah, skylights. They have that. They have that up in Seattle. Have you been to old Seattle?
I haven't. It's on our bucket list because there's a million places there to check out.
Most people. Well, if you're from Seattle, you know. The rest of the United States, not so much. But Seattle burnt down, and they built new Seattle on top of
it.
Old Seattle, right? So it's like Planet of the Apes, man.
Right.
And it's a whole city under there. And so what they did, like you're saying, they kept those shops open. The storefronts and things stayed open. So how did they put plate glass sidewalk skylights in the sidewalk to let the sunlight in to light up the sidewalk that is underneath the sidewalk that's there, and the businesses stayed open down there. They eventually closed everything down. So you go, it's like the craziest dream that you could have of something like this, but it being real, is what it is. It's like, this can't be real. And you go on the tour, and you walk down, and you're looking up. You can see people walking above you, and you're on the sidewalk down below with these storefronts. It's crazy. So they did the same thing in Phoenix. I did not know this.
Yeah, Winslow had it too.
Yeah, the longest tunnel.
Yeah, they had tunnels that ran all through the city, and they used it so they could, transport alcohol, all sorts of other mischievous behaviors that went on. To be able to look like you went into a respectable hotel and never came out for the night, but yet you could get underground.
Right.
You could end up in any building you wanted to, and no one would know.
And it's still there.
Parts of it.
Parts of it. Man, I want to check that out. If I come to Phoenix, can you get me in there?
Most of it's been ripped up when they put in the light rail. They literally hit it, and that's how they knew. All the external entrances that were known to be able to get into it have been blocked. So the only place that could probably still access whatever's left of it would be what we believe to be the opening in the San Carlos basement.
And you can get me in there, right? Wink, wink.
Yeah, we probably could.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Oh man, I'm so there. All right, let's see. Next. Okay, this one's got your name in it. This one's got Tony.
That's Hotel San Carlos. And, I don't want to describe it. Play it, and then I'll tell you what the background is on it.
Here we go. Okay, I'm going to play this one more time. I'm going to tell you what I hear. I mean, it's pretty clear. Okay, I hear who's that? Who's that, Tony? I can't make out the second half of it.
What I believe it says is, who's that? Then a different voice says Tony, and then another voice that says our friend.
Yes. Okay. Let's listen. Okay. Now. That's crazy, man. That crazy.
Was captured the first time Cherie and I had ever stepped foot into the old Phelps Dodge Hospital. That was captured via EVOX, which I had never, ever had something come through that seemed to be or make sense. And then after we caught that, the very first time we were in there, then we said, okay, we got to get a hold of this building. This is nuts.
Okay, I'm going to play this again. That is crazy. The Tony answer, that's nuts, man. That's
clear
nuts.
as can be.
Yeah, here we go. Our friend. Okay, so you know what Tony sounds like? It sounds like me. Now, I'm going to play it again. Everybody, does this sound like me? I'm listening to my voice in the headphones, right, as I'm speaking right now, and I listen to this, and it's got my little thing going on. That is nuts.
It does.
That's
it
nuts.
Does sound like you.
That's nuts, man. And the our friend. Wow. That's Class A right there. That's Class A all the way down the pike. Who's that? Tony, our friend. Wow. All right, we're gonna wrap up the night with You're Right. Okay, what's happening here?
Okay, this was with two of our associates, Chris Allgood, Audra Keeler. The four of us, Cherie and I, Chris and Audra, were in the Phelps Dodge. Cherie and Audra went to the other end of the building. They were nowhere near us. Chris and I walked into the second minor surgery room, which has bathrooms in the back. And Chris said something like, you'll hear it on the recording. He said something like, a minute ago, I got a giggle. And I said, really? And then he stopped, didn't say anything. And then he says, there's a woman in here. And then you hear the response.
Okay, here we go.
2 minutes, 18 seconds. I got a giggle. Really? There's a woman in here.
Oh, man.
That sounds like angelic.
Hey, that's a good observation. Okay, here we go. I'm jumping to the end.
There's a woman in here.
What?
Yeah, and he nailed it by saying, I had no idea, and none of us heard that with our own ears, but immediately after he's done, there's a woman in here. You're right, and it's female, and that just was insane.
One more time.
There's a woman in here.
That is nuts, man. That is nuts. You guys are so good at what you do. You're so good. I can't wait to get you out here. I don't know if I want to EVP the house, though. I don't know. I don't know if I want.
We won't make you do anything you don't want to. But if you want to know what's in there, let us know.
Where can Okay, so you're now with us over here at the NX Network, and what night are you on with us on Mondays?
We are Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And if you're looking to see other stuff we've done, we've got an Entity Voices Paranormal Investigations YouTube channel. Just about everything that's worth looking at is there. There's 350 some videos, I think, up there. We have a website, entityvoices.com. Feel free to check any of that out.
And if somebody has got things going on at the house, can they reach out to you? Would you guys?
Absolutely. We have both email address, contact@entityvoices.com on the website. There's phone numbers listed. You can reach us through our Facebook pages. If you are having any type of activity or concerns about anything paranormal, we've got connections with other group members on the East Coast, West Coast, Southeast. So one of us will be close enough to be able to either get there or at least recommend somebody if we can't because it's too far.
Tony and Cherie Rathman. Another great show. Thank you guys so much. You're the absolute very best.
Thank you.
I can't wait. No, we're going to get you out here and we're going to figure out what's happening over here at Casa Day Church. Okay?
Sounds
Thank you
good,
for
Jimmy.
having us, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much. And again, it is entityvoices.com, and we have the links up on the website and throughout social media. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I want to remind everybody tomorrow night, right here, live, it's Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark T. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2022 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black of the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Everybody be safe until tomorrow night with Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Until then, it's time to fade to black.